Hey everyone, welcome back. We all want to get to the heart of things, right? Like, figure out what really makes things work, especially when it comes to something as complex as trading.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, today we're going to dig into something that's kind of hidden, but it has a massive impact on whether you could be a successful trader consistently. We're talking about your beliefs. It's like, think of it as the secret code running in the background that either helps you make great trades or, trips you up every time.
That's a great analogy. We're going to be looking closely at Chapter 9 of Trading in the Zone for this deep dive.
Okay?
It really breaks down how these beliefs, form in the first place and the surprising power they have over how we actually trade and the results we get. So in this deep dive, we're aiming to pull out those core mechanisms so you can clearly see how this internal stuff, your beliefs, work in the high-pressure environment of trading.
Got it. So the chapter starts by looking at the very nature of beliefs. And this might sound a bit abstract at first, but it's really important to get this foundation. It basically says that things like memories, the distinctions we make and, beliefs themselves, they exist as like structured energy, not physical things.
Right,
Like, think about a song that's stuck in your head. It's not a little record player in there.
right.
It's like a pattern of information.
Exactly, yeah.
Beliefs are kind of similar, like ingrained patterns of thought.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. What's really interesting is how these patterns actually get established. The author talks about how, think about a baby.
Mm-hmm.
They experience the world through their senses first, right? Sights, sounds, touch.
Or sensory input.
Exactly. And then language comes in. We start attaching words to these feelings and experiences. Like, the warmth and comfort of being cared for gets linked with words like the world is safe. And that creates a really deep belief.
Yeah.
But then on the flip side, if that care's not there, that same experience might get linked with I can't rely on anywhere, and boom, you've got a very different belief, but equally powerful.
Right. It's like two sides of the same coin in a way. And this is where it gets really important for your own trading. These beliefs, once they're there, often work completely below the surface. You're not actively thinking about them, but they have this huge influence on, the quality of our lives, how we feel, and crucially, on your ability to trade well and consistently make profits. It's almost like kind of ironic.
It is.
Like something so important gets so little attention.
Right.
I mean, you might spend hours back-testing strategies, fine-tuning indicators, trying to make sense of the market news. But the real thing stopping you from making consistent profits, it could be hiding right there in your own belief system.
Absolutely. And the chapter really emphasizes this. We aren't born with these beliefs. We pick them up along the way, often from others, without even realizing it, especially when we're young. And these inherited beliefs can be the toughest to deal with because we never really chose them or even examined them. But the key takeaway here is all beliefs work in similar ways, whether it's the market is full of opportunity or I'm not good enough to be a successful trader, they all shape how we interact with the market.
So how do these beliefs we've kind of absorbed actually affect our trading? Now, how do they shape our results, our ability to find that consistency we all want? The chapter lays out 4 main ways, and as we go through them, think about how each one might be showing up in your own trading. First up, beliefs manage how we see and understand information, how we interpret things. Let's say you have this belief that the market is basically unpredictable, completely random.
Okay.
You're going to be more likely to notice news and price swings that seem chaotic, and you might even miss patterns or signals that could suggest there's some underlying order.
That's a great example of a belief filter in action. Like, let's say you're really skeptical of a specific chart pattern. Even if it shows up perfectly according to your rules, that doubt can creep in. You might start looking for reasons why it won't work this time and end up missing out on a trade that could have made you money.
Right, you hesitate.
Exactly. Your belief is like a spotlight.
Uh-huh.
It highlights information that confirms what you already think you know, but leaves potential opportunities hidden in the dark.
Yeah, that's a great image. Okay, so building on that idea of perception, the second way beliefs affect us is by creating expectations. The chapter makes this point, an expectation is really just a belief about the future. If deep down you think that consistently making profits is impossible, like it's just not in the cards for you, then that belief is going to color your expectations about every trade you make, even your whole trading career. You might even sabotage yourself without realizing it, because making decent profits just doesn't fit with your internal picture of what's possible for you.
Yeah, you see this a lot, right? A trader might have this deep-seated belief that they don't deserve to be financially successful. So even if their system is working and generating wins,
Uh-huh.
they might close out trades too early, get reckless with risk after a win, or make these other self-sabotaging decisions. It's like their expectations are driven by this limiting belief, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. They actually block themselves from achieving the consistent success they want.
So that brings us to the third way beliefs shape our journey towards consistency. It's all about our actions. Everything you do in the market, when to enter a trade, how much to risk, when to take profits, when to cut losses, all of these choices come from what you believe is possible, like what you think is likely to happen, what you think you deserve. So if you believe that losing trades are just inevitable, like a fact of life, and consistently avoiding them is impossible,
Right.
well, you might not put enough effort into refining your entry and exit strategies or really managing your risk on every trade.
Absolutely. And this connects directly to discipline. If a trader thinks they just don't have the self-control to follow their trading plan,
Yeah,
they're far more likely to stray from it on impulse, even if they know intellectually it's not the best thing to do. That belief in their own lack of discipline becomes this huge obstacle because consistent execution, that's the cornerstone of lasting success.
and that leads perfectly into the final point, and this is a big one, especially if you want to understand the emotional roller coaster of trading. Your beliefs have a huge impact on how you feel about the results of your actions. Think about it. A trader who believes they're just unlucky, or that the market is rigged against them. When they hit a losing trade, they're probably going to react with frustration, anger, maybe even despair. And that just reinforces the initial belief.
Mm-hmm.
But another trader, someone who believes they can learn and adapt,
Right.
they might see that same losing trade as valuable feedback. Like, okay, a chance to refine their approach and get closer to that consistent profitability.
Yeah, I think that's a crucial distinction. A lot of the emotional ups and downs that traders experience, the euphoria after a win, the crash after a loss, it's often a direct reflection of their deeper beliefs about themselves, about the market, about winning and losing in general. Your beliefs are like the lens you view everything through, and that interpretation, that's what drives your emotions. And then those emotions can further solidify those initial beliefs. It's a powerful cycle.
Absolutely. To really drive home how these hidden belief barriers can hold you back, the chapter gives this really interesting example, the Gotcha Chicago experiment with the free money sign.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard of this one?
I have, yeah.
Okay, so for those who haven't, someone stood on a busy street in Chicago with a sign that clearly said free money, today only.
Wow.
And they had a good amount of cash to give away in a busy, relatively well-off area. Now, you would think people would be lining up, right,
Logically, yes.
to take advantage of this. But what's really interesting is how few people actually stopped. Most people completely ignored the person. Some even avoided eye contact or walked a different way. Only a handful interacted, and often with suspicion or disbelief.
It's incredible, isn't it?
It is. And the explanation for this, which links right back to our discussion about beliefs, is this deep-seated societal belief that free money doesn't exist.
Right.
That belief acted like a filter. It stopped people from even seeing the situation as a real opportunity. The sign was there, the person was there, the money was there, but their belief system just couldn't process it. Their minds probably came up with other explanations, like it's a scam, there's a catch, this person's crazy, all interpretations that fit with their existing belief that free money is a myth.
Yeah, it really highlights how powerful our beliefs can be. They can literally blind us to opportunities even when they're right in front of us. And the connection to trading, to achieving consistent success is so clear. How many potentially profitable trades might you be missing because you hold on to this belief that consistent profits are impossible or that the market is rigged?
Right.
That belief creates a wall stopping you from seeing and taking those valid opportunities.
And then you have the panhandlers in the story.
Right.
He asked for money and got it. He probably has a different set of beliefs, or at least he's more open to the possibility of receiving money freely. His whole perception of the situation and then his actions were completely different. It really makes you think, how many free money moments in trading, those high probability opportunities, are we walking past every day because of our own unseen belief barriers?
It's a good question to ask ourselves.
It is. And then the chapter takes it a step further with this what-if scenario. Imagine someone who truly believes free money doesn't exist, but decides to try it out, just for a moment. They ask for a small amount, say $10, and they get it. At first, they might feel this whoosh like, wow, this contradicts everything I thought I knew. But then the thought creeps in, what if I had asked for more? And suddenly, that initial excitement can turn into regret, because of these deeper beliefs about scarcity or not deserving more.
Yeah, I see where you're going with this.
And this is so similar to what happens in trading. How often do we take a small profit only to watch the market keep going in our favor? And we're left with that feeling of, ugh, I missed out.
Right.
That regret often comes from these underlying beliefs about, how much profit we think is okay to take, or the fear of losing what we've already gained.
Absolutely. That fear of missing out or leaving money on the table, it can be crippling.
Yeah, its whole example really highlights how beliefs aren't just these passive thoughts we have. They actively shape how we experience the world, how we act, and that directly affects our trading success. And this leads into what the chapter says about beliefs and truth, specifically in trading. The author argues that every trader sees the market through their own unique belief system, which obviously leads to different interpretations, different versions of truth about the exact same information. Like one trader might see a small pullback as a signal to buy because they believe in quick reversals,
Right.
while another might see the same pullback as a sign that the downtrend is continuing, and they'll short it because they believe in strong trends. And both could be valid based on their own beliefs.
Yeah, and what's important to remember here is that the market itself, this trading environment we're in, it can express itself in so many ways. It's almost infinite. But our beliefs, they act like a filter. They only capture a small part of that infinite possibility. They're our mental models, our way of trying to understand a complex, always changing landscape. But they're not necessarily accurate or complete pictures of the market's reality, especially if we want to consistently make money from it.
That's a great point. Think about it this way. If our beliefs about the market were completely accurate,
Okay.
then our expectations would always be met. We'd be satisfied all the time. Because what we predict would always line up with what happened.
Right.
But as traders, we know that's not the case. We feel dissatisfied, disappointed, frustrated. This tells us that our belief systems are often out of sync with the market's reality. And that gap can be a major roadblock to consistency.
So then, what is truth in trading? Especially when things can feel so unpredictable, the chapter offers a very practical definition. Truth is simply whatever works. It's not about some universal, objective truth about the market. It's about whether a belief consistently helps you achieve your trading goals. It's about having beliefs that empower you to make good decisions and get the results you want. It's not about being right in some abstract sense. It's about what actually works for you.
Exactly. So your beliefs kind of define what you even see as possible in the market, how you make sense of all the information you're bombarded with, the trading decisions you make, your expectations about what might happen, the actions you take, and like we talked about, your emotional reactions to the results. If your beliefs are aligned with how the market actually behaves in relation to your strategies and your goals, you're going to feel good. You're going to feel like you're making progress. But if your beliefs are clashing with the market's reality, or with what you're trying to achieve,
Right.
you're going to hit those negative emotions. Those are the signals telling you something needs to change.
Exactly. Those emotions are telling you to examine your beliefs and maybe adjust them so you can move closer to consistency.
So the key takeaway here, if you're serious about being a successful trader, is that the real test of a belief is the results it produces. If a belief consistently leads to fear, hesitation, missed opportunities, it's not helping you, no matter how strongly you hold on to it or how long you've had it.
Couldn't agree more. Beliefs have to be practical.
They do. So to sum it all up, we've seen how beliefs are much more than just ideas. They are powerful forces that shape how we see the market, influence our trading decisions every step of the way, and ultimately determine whether we can achieve lasting success. If you want to unlock that consistent profitability, you have to understand these internal frameworks, how they work, how they affect you.
And this brings us to a critical question for you to think about. If your trading results aren't consistently meeting your expectations, what deep-seated beliefs about the market, about risk, maybe even about your own abilities as a trader, might be holding you back? Remember that free money analogy. Could it be that you're overlooking great trading opportunities simply because you don't believe that consistent success is possible for you?
That's a question worth pondering, for sure. The path to becoming a consistently successful trader, it's not just about finding the perfect strategy or mastering the technical stuff. It starts with taking an honest look at your own beliefs and being open to new, more empowering ways of seeing what's truly possible for you in the world of trading. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll see you next time.